So a client reached out wondering if I could do alterations on this wedding dress that she had bought. I asked her what exactly she needed. She said she loved the dress. Of course, they always do love the dress. It fit fairly well. The only issue, I believe, possibly was the length, but also she said I needed to see it because she couldn't really explain what was going on. Something about the fit in the front and the back as well. So I was like, okay, come in, let's see what's going on. So this is her in the dress, and you can see the length is a little bit long. So I was going to shorten that. And I already kind of pinned the top part before I took pictures. So that was kind of the issue. Like, it wasn't big, but it had a loose fit, and just the way the dress was cut and sewn, there was a bit of gaping. So she wanted me to smooth that out in the front. So I have my pins there, and I'm probably going to show you a clip of what it actually looked like. So yeah, it was pretty much, I think the bust area was a little big, so I needed to take it in. So that's why I have my pins there. And so I was going to kind of not sew it down in a curve, but almost straight, so that it was a little bit more fitted and closer to her chest. So this is the back of the dress. She kind of wanted it to fit a little snug, but because of the design of the dress, like right there, that little triangle, which was very, very cute. I loved the design of this dress. Very unique, actually, just the whole wedding dress, very unique. Never seen anything like it. But then again, every time I see a wedding dress, it's very rare that it's the same wedding dress that I've seen. So on the back, I don't know if it's triangle, square, or diamond, or whatever shape that is, it was a little loose. And so she wanted to find out if there was anything I could do to make it just a little bit more fitted or fit a little bit more snug. And I was like, I am not sure what I could do, because I was like, if I take it in, because of the way it's cut, I'm not sure how I would take in the dress, especially just that part. I was like, do I take it in at the zipper? But you see all those buttons. Who has time to take off all those buttons and put them back on? So trying to figure out a way to to just do what she wanted, like make that area a little bit more fitted. I ended up figuring it out, but yeah, it was a little mind-bending for me. So this is what it looked like on the original dress. And I don't know if it's the way it was styled or the way the model is standing. It just looks kind of different. There's something different about it. So probably stabilizing it with interface, or I don't know, trying to adjust the seams. So like I said, it was a little tricky for me to figure out what to do, but I think I ended up figuring out type of alterations I was going to do on it. Other than that, the hip part of the dress, they seemed a little bit uneven. So she wanted me to kind of smooth that, taper that down so that it could smoothen out. So here I am, I'm just pinching and trying to see how much I need to take in, how much I need to smooth out. So if you stepped away from the dress, it didn't look like anything was needed. But not only does a dress have to look good, a bride also has to feel good in it, feel comfortable, feel that the dress is pretty much made for her body. So even though those seemed like minor alterations, things that you could get away with, the bride really wanted to feel comfortable in the dress and on her special day. So I went to work. So this is the dress. I already went ahead and removed the waist seam or seam ripped and opened up the waist seam. And on the inside, this is the way they finished off the princess seam. So it's almost like both sides are attached. Hard to explain, but you have the visual there. So what I am going to do is just open that up so that I can go ahead and take in the amount that me and the bride agreed on, and then put in some pins and then sew that down. So I'm starting with seam ripping that area open. So did the bottom, I'm gonna do the top as well. And then once I'm done that, I will go ahead and pin the seam to the measurement that we agreed upon, and go ahead and sew that down. So that's pretty much it. Again, just taking care with seam ripper, with the pins, especially because of the type of fabric that this wedding dress is. I believe it was a crepe type of fabric. So yeah, have to be really, really careful, because sometimes with the pins and the seam ripper, it's going to show through. So I'm just going ahead and sewing that down. Actually, this wasn't, I mean, it seemed like it was complicated taking it apart, but it wasn't. So once I was done with the princess seams, I just went ahead and closed the waist up, as you can see. I'm going to hand sew the inside layer, press the dress, and that's pretty much it for the alterations. I had the bride come in for another fitting. Listen, I know you've said it. I know you've said that this is your year. This is your year for financial freedom. This is your year to try something new. This is your year to go somewhere you've never been before. This is your year to try a new hobby. You know what else you can do this year? Learn how to sew. Learn how to sew and do basic alterations. I believe everyone should be able to do some basic sewing, and that is hand sewing and machine sewing. And I teach you all of that in my course, So Simple Alterations for Absolute Beginners. So be sure to enroll, because this is the year that you actually learn how to sew and do alterations. See you in there. So this is her in the dress after the alterations. You can see I shortened the length a little bit, and the biggest difference, of course, was in the bust area. That was laying way smoother than it was before. The bride was happy with those alterations. Now, these are some pictures from her wedding, and the way she wore her hair pretty much covered all the features of the dress. So this is the back of the dress. Can't see that diamond shape in the back. And this is the front of the dress. Again, the hairstyle that she picked covers pretty much the front of the dress. I don't know. I feel like it defeated the purpose of the alterations, because it's covering up pretty much everything that was done. But again, it's not just about how the dress looks. It's also important how the bride feels in the dress. Either way, she looked absolutely gorgeous on her wedding day. Before and after, how did I do?